Welcome. This is month 13 video update for the 100k giveaway, and it's looking pretty bleak. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be going over in this video. I'm going to be showing you some really good news. We're going to talk about are we in an actual bear market? Do I believe we're in a bear market? Which, no, the short answer is no, I don't believe we are. There's a lot of people calling and saying that we are in a bear market, but I believe that we're in a capitulation stage of the market, and this cycle has actually been very different from previous cycles. A lot of people were comparing this to the 2013 cycle, and then others were comparing it to the 2017 cycle, and there's just a lot of differences. There's a lot of similarities between the 2013 cycle, but overall there's a lot of differences. So yeah, what's been going on? It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'll just bring a chart up real quick and show you what I'm seeing. So I've just gone and created a trend line here and duplicated this underneath and painted it in blue to show you that we are in an upward trending market, although in the shorter term time frame from November to now, we're definitely in a downward trending market, and we're starting to retest a lot of these previous points. So overall, basically 2021 was a sideways movement year. We basically moved sideways. We hit an all-time high here and definitely got oversold and corrected well and truly down into the 30s, hit about 28,000 I think, and then we hit a new all-time high of 69,000 and then recorrected to around the 3,300 mark, 33,000 mark I should say. And we've just been kind of moving along sideways and further, like hitting lower lows here. I've thrown a couple of lines on the chart for different support levels. We have a strong, very high conviction support on the 31 mark, and then we've started to build around the 37 and a half mark, a fair bit of support as well. There's a lot of buyers that bought above this line here, as well as even more amount of buyers that have bought above the kind of 31,000 mark. So they're the two kind of points that I'm looking at, and then from there there's 28. 28 was where we came down to 28 multiple times or multiple wicks and tested that and bounced off it. So there's also a strong amount of support at 28. There's a lot of people calling for 20,000 or 18,000 or even $10,000 Bitcoin, because they're looking all the way back to where support is. And, we've definitely got at around the $10,000 mark. There's a huge amount of support from, back in 2020, 2019, and even further. I don't see it going that low. Anything is possible. Crypto has been a remarkable tool at showing people that anything is possible, both good and bad. So definitely don't be betting the house on this. This is not financial advice, of course, and I'm just looking here. So we're definitely in a downward trending market shown by this line here. We've retested this a few times and broken down, and we've the most recent one in mid-January, we definitely retested the lows, but we've bounced up quite significantly. And in the last couple of days, I think 38,900 is where we've kind of been getting to, and if we were to break through this, which would be today around 42,000, I would be looking a lot more positively at the market and speaking a lot more positive about it. If we just zoom right into the hourly, you can also see, this has been a much uglier picture. We definitely didn't even get close to this trend line, and we've come down, capitulated, bounced up, broken through this support, bounced above it, and now we are currently sitting above this support line of 37k, and currently testing the 38,800 mark, where we've spent not that much time, half a day sitting there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've lost a huge amount of value off the market. Around 1.2 trillion dollars has dropped off the market. BTC dominance has moved up quite significantly. Looking back at my BTC dominance chart, we can see in May of 2020 we started to see a huge correction from BTC dominance being well and truly up here at the 62-63 mark. in April, and then all the way down to the 40s. We've been bouncing across that, and it seems like the 40% mark BTC dominance is kind of the support there. And yeah, we're currently sitting at about 43. So if you don't know what BTC dominance is, it basically means how dominant is BTC against every single other coin in the market. And currently, BTC is around 42% of the entire market. So what this means in reverse is, as this gets stronger, if it goes up to the 60s, alts are going to really bleed, really hurt. As it starts to go down and below the 40s, we start to see alts really, really shine. So yeah, we saw it come up quite heavily. Bitcoin started to get really, really strong towards the end of 2020. And then as it started to hit the 30s, 40K mark, we started to see alts really start to shine here and head down. Now, there's a lot going on in the marketplace. As you've seen, the fear and greed has been at an all-time low. We actually saw fear and greed get down to extreme fear of around 10 out of 100, whereas in April and May last year, we saw extreme greed at around the 90s, 95 mark. So there's definitely a lot going on. The market overall is quite scared and worried and concerned. My customers, everyone, has been communicating that they think the bull run is over, and they're starting to look at, the next halving cycle. I don't think that's the case. There's just too many indicators pointing to that it's not over. The NFT market is just growing and exploding like crazy. We're seeing a lot of different celebrities, different people jumping into there and scooping up these $1 million plus NFT Bored Ape Yacht Club type offers and that sort of stuff. So I don't think we are in a bear market. I think we definitely have a bearish tendencies. Look at the chart. We are trending down further and further on no matter how you try and look at it, it doesn't look positive. So yeah, once we see and break through the 40s and even getting back up to the mid 50s, I think we'll be in much stronger positions. But we'll also see a lot of outflow from BTC into alt. So that's what I'm really banking on. Looking at a couple of different indicators, so the CBBI, which has been historically very, very spot on, is saying there's a 43% chance that we're at the peak, and as I've mentioned before, it has called to the day the peaks of Bitcoin as well as the lows. So CBBI confidence is around a 2. On the previous 2 cycles ago, it was around $178, and then it went up to the 100, which was almost $20,000 on the December 16th. And then we saw a low almost 12 months later of a 3, and looking back into this year, we started to see the CBBI get high, but it only got up to about a 76. And then on the second run, we saw 64 out of 100, and then right now we've been as low this month as a 41, which, to give you context, is back when back November 2020, so a year and 2 months ago, 14 months ago, when Bitcoin was around $15,000, is pretty much where we are right now. So CBBI is it aggregates 11 different or 12 different. It was 12 and now it's 11 different metrics, and it basically indexes them into a single number. So I've been following this for a long time, and looking at the data, you can see it has peaked a lot of these highs and lows. So, all right, so let's jump into the news real quick. I'll show you what's been going on and why I'm still quite bullish. There's a huge amount of Series A, Series B funding coming into the space. We're seeing a huge amount of traditional markets pushing capital into startups in the crypto space. And this is a very bullish sign for me. Even though we saw huge corrections in December and January, there's still this massive inflow of venture capital coming in and trying to fund these businesses. We're also seeing a lot of movement when it comes to Facebook and Meta, as well as Instagram and different platforms that are trying to get involved in the whole NFT and crypto space. So yeah, there's a Coinbase report out that is actually a really good read. If you have some time, definitely go and download this and have a read. And it basically says that there was $1 trillion in volume that was generated across decentralized exchanges in 2021. So this is just decentralized exchanges. So there's a huge amount of people from all over the world in all different countries that are using exchanges that are not actually tied specifically to any KYC or anything like that. So huge amount of volume. And coming back to talking about NFTs, we've definitely seen a huge amount of volume. This is just in the last 24 hours, almost $200 million in volume. Last 7 days, 1.1 billion, with Bored Ape Yacht Club being a huge part of that, around 10%. And the Azuki NFT also being around 10% of that as well. A friend of mine got into this, did really, really well. 10x his money in about 10 days, so congratulations to him. Not sure if you watched the videos, but congratulations, Jordan. Well done. And yeah, over the last 30 days, the crypto market, there's been 1.3 trillion dollars that's been wiped off, and we've seen $4 billion in NFT sales. So we're definitely seeing a lot of value being moved over to there. There's been arguments of retail is gone and we won't see new all-time highs until retail are back. But my opinion is retail's still here. It's just looking at different sides of the market. So it's spending time in the NFT space, and that is still going quite crazy. Another big bit of news that happened is the Federal Reserve in the US, which controls a lot of the global markets when it comes to money supply, actually announced that they were going to raise their rates, and the markets definitely reacted really, really badly to this. This is where we saw, I can actually show you on the chart. It was around, I think, the 25th or 28th of December, around 52K Bitcoin price. The Federal Reserve announced, and then it wasn't until the 25th or 26th US time that they actually met and had their FOMC meeting and met and basically said, no, we're not going to raise interest rates. And we've seen crypto move up. We've also seen the Dow Jones start to move up from there as well. Again, early January, we saw quite the correction here. Let me just bring this in. Saw quite the correction here in January. This is the Dow Jones index, and then we've started to see a bit of a bounce from there. They're all looking very, very similar. Again, start of January, all the way down to the 25th, and then back again, and then the Nasdaq also looking very, very similar. So, yeah, we saw the Federal Reserve do this, and one thought process that I have here is that they like to, spread a lot of this psychological market making kind of information to try to see how the markets will react more often than not. So right now, inflation is rampant in the States and all over the world because there's been a huge amount of money printing happening. And the fear here is that if inflation isn't under control, that things will just go completely out of proportion. So the way that the Federal Reserve controls that is by raising or lowering interest rates. They control inflation. So the money flow into the markets in the United States is controlled by if money is cheap, i.e. interest rates are low, or if money is expensive, i.e. if interest rates are high. So they've voted to leave that, but they also are doing quantitative tightening right now, where they're pulling, I think it's around $30 billion a month of less liquidity they're actually sucking out of the market to see how it reacts. So, yeah, they've said that they're probably going to raise the rates in March, but right now, yeah, things are looking positive. The markets have definitely had a bit of a free fall, which we saw from the Nasdaq, S&P, and the Dow Jones, as well as crypto. And yeah, it's only a matter of time before they start to recover a little bit. And then in that, the president of El Salvador basically said, I think I might have missed this dip. And then, the 20th or so, when was it? Yeah, the 22nd, it dropped some more. They ended up buying another 410 Bitcoin for $15 million. And yeah, they're continuing to stack sats. There was also a lot of news talking about the Russian government and Putin actually putting restrictions and banning, the Central Bank of Russia actually banning crypto and in the future of mining being completely shut down. And it seems like this was a bit of a, listen to what we're saying rather than watching what we're doing, because they completely did a 180 here, and they're just looking to just regulate it a little bit more, make it a little bit easier for people to understand what they can and can't do in the space. And that's what the US is doing as well. So the Federal Reserve's published a long-awaited central bank digital currency report, and they're doing a very similar thing. Biden is looking at sharing his executive order, where he's going to be, being very specific about what you can and can't do in the United States if you are a crypto-based business. So again, it's a bit of fear-mongering. The governments are saying, hey, we're going to ban it, and then they're just going, actually, no, we're just going to regulate it, and here's exactly how it's going to be regulated. There's also a lot of, quite negative stuff going on in the world with governments controlling their people around COVID. Whether you're for or against vaccines, this is not what this is about. It's I'm for freedom, and I hate the fact that the governments are dictating what it is that we can and can't do. And looking at what's going on in Canada, where there's a bunch of truckers that have basically shut down roads, and they're intending to basically strike against stuff. It's showing that the power of the people. We actually together, if we bind together, we actually have a lot more strength in numbers, and I think that's really, really positive. And it's all done very peacefully. So this is really, really good, and hopefully the voices get heard in Canada, and we end up seeing some positivity out of it. So there's definitely a lot of stuff going on in the States, in the US, in Canada, all around the world, that we're in a very interesting time. There's a very strange time that we're in with everything going on. So where's Bitcoin headed? No predictions here, but for me, the stock to flow model and my demand model based on historical S-curves offers some guidance. This is from Doreen Timmer. The next and the last time the two models converges at 100k in 2023, suggesting positive but relatively modest gains and likely continued volatility. So he's gone and added this S-curve here. The stock to flow model one is what you see here. And almost 69k is where we hit. There's also, there's a lot of different models that people are actually putting together to try and chart this out. But the reality is no one actually knows. Over time, Bitcoin has been the best performing asset this century, and I think it will continue to be that in years to come. Nobody actually knows what's going to happen in time, and all we can do is look at different models and then look at different data and then make decisions based on that. And the fundamentals, although we've seen the price has definitely come down, like it's at a 50% off from where it was just in November. The fundamentals haven't changed. It has become gold 2.0. There is governments, there is celebrities, there is businesses and corporations that are buying and holding Bitcoin. And Dave Portnoy, if you don't know who he is, runs Barstool Sports, which is a massive media company. He has a huge following, almost 3 million followers on Twitter. Does a lot of social media stuff. Has basically announced that he's back in. He's bought 29 Bitcoin at just under $1.1 million. Michael Saylor's congratulating him. And talking about what he did previously. So he sold all his Bitcoin at $12,000 and then has since bought it at $37,000. Lost about 25k back then. But it looks like he's in, and he's probably not going to be out anytime soon. So, the one thing that I should say about these monthly videos, if you haven't watched one of these before, that's all about a 100k giveaway that I'm doing. So every month, every dollar that comes into this channel, I end up putting back into crypto, and I am buying different coins and putting them into a portfolio that I'm ready to give away. It was intentionally to be 12 months long, but the bull market still hasn't finished. So my intention here is to continue to build this out. The goal is to get to $100,000, and the way that you can win it is by simply just going and clicking on all the videos and commenting on all of them. And what I said last time is once we see about a 75 on the CBBI, I'll be actually picking a winner using a random comment picker, and then giving all of this crypto to someone. So currently, values at about 0.19 of a Bitcoin, and Actually, it's probably a little bit less than that. That hasn't actually been updated, but this is all in real time. Total invested is around $7,500, and it's currently worth just under 6. So I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into another project. I'm probably going to just buy some Proton. As Proton, we've spent almost $1,000 here, and it's currently worth about $300. So this month we had about $350 US come in commissions on the channel, so I'll be putting that straight into there. To give you context, when I bought this project here, XPR, I was around 3 times the price here, so it was about 2.5 cents, and it's currently sitting at about 1 cent. So it's definitely cheap right now. I'm a big believer in this coin long term, and I think that it has huge potential. I think we can see a 20 cents or more in time, because it's just doing some amazing stuff. And actually, speaking of that, if we go to Proton Scan, Proton actually just cracked 200,000 accounts. So to give you context here, from April to November last year, it took to get to 100,000 accounts, and then it's taken just over 2 months to get from 100,000 to 200,000, and it's currently growing at around 2,500 new accounts a day, which is just phenomenal. The network is growing really strongly. There's a lot of development happening. Proton Loan Proton Lend, I should say, has just launched about a week ago. This is the borrowing platform, and there's almost $12.5 million in collateral locked up in that platform, and they're adding other pairs. So what this allows you to do, you can add your Bitcoin here and borrow against it up to 20% LVR, and then you can buy some Proton, or you can buy some Metal or USDC and anything like that. So very cool to see this. I'm really excited to see where this goes, and this is again going up against some of the bigger brands like Celsius as well as Aave. So this has a huge amount of potential, and I'm really excited for it. So Proton, I'll just pause the video now. I'll do a quick buy, and then come and update this and pretty much sign it off. And I've just gone and made a purchase of XPR. As you can see, we're starting to inch towards that. Every single month, you can start to see where Bitcoin has been and where it's going to. So potentially we go back up above 40K. I think we're going to spend at least another 2 weeks or so, probably sideways in this channel between the kind of 38 and 45K. Once we get up to, let's say, 45, 46K, we'll start to see alts really get some love, because we'll start to see money flow out of there. And if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I talk about a concept called the crypto money flow cycle, where capital flows between the Bitcoin large caps, mid caps, and low caps, and we start to see that really take place here. So I haven't actually updated the Bitcoin value because I haven't gone and done that, but I will. Once you click on this, you'll start to see that. So as I've mentioned before, it's super easy to win this. All you gotta do is go and comment anything you want on all these videos, and then I'll pick the video that has the most comments on it, and the video that has the least comments on it, I should say, and then I will go and pick a winner and make sure that person has actually commented on all the videos. And I'll be sending all of this crypto to you, and the goal is to get it to $100,000. I still think a lot of these projects have potential to 10x or more. I've seen some really crazy things happen. I've seen multiple customers who might put $1,000 into projects that turn into $100,000, or $5,000 into something that turned to $500,000. And I don't think any of these projects are any different. There's still huge potential. A lot of them have a huge amount of potential. They're either very low market caps, or they have a very low circulating supply, and they're a really good fundamental project. So okay, that's it for me. Cue the outro. If you want to support the channel, go and download my Crypto Fast Start Guide by going to cryptofaststartguide.com. I'm also giving away $100,000 in crypto. All you have to do is go and watch this video and the previous 7 videos and comment on it to be in the draw to win. Make sure you go and check out Max Wright's webinar. He's talking about a trading where $10,000 invested wisely today can give you a passive income of $100,000 per year in just 18 months if you take this easy step today. So go and register for this webinar. There is a lot of great content in there. You're going to learn a lot as a bare minimum, and it's going to completely change your life as a maximum. The link is in the description for this webinar. It's also up here. If you have crypto and you want to earn up to 8%, use BlockFi. You can sign up using the link on the screen there or the link in the description. You can also borrow against your cryptocurrency rather than triggering capital gains events. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a tax accountant, so I'm not actually giving you financial advice, but I'd definitely recommend speaking to someone who knows your situation. You can actually get $250 in crypto as a bonus when you transfer $100 or more into this wallet. And then finally, grab a crypto.com card and grab a crypto.com account. You can get a free $25 sign-up bonus by going to this link, and the beauty of this is you can transfer crypto to your card and be able to spend it real time in shops. So as always, support the channel because the more I get support from these affiliate offers, the more I'm actually putting into this campaign in order to give away to you guys. So that's it from me. I really enjoyed making this video for you. If you really enjoyed this content and you like these short kind of punchy videos, make sure to leave a comment below and just give me some feedback there. Again, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.